Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of the UK Connection. Got it right that time. It's end of the year, 2022. It's our best of 2022 episode. We've been doing it across all the different shows here on the channel. This one is no different. Let me introduce to you, as always, Simon, Bray, and Steven Reid in the house once again, as always. You guys ready to say goodbye to 2022? It is New Year's Eve tonight, right? That's it.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Can't wait. Happy New Year, hug my knee, all that kind of stuff.
That's right. Sayonara, baby, and all that. And hopefully, get out already. Get out already. Simon, are you feeling better? Have you kicked no? Jeez.
I had one day where I felt a little bit better. And since I've got what they call around here, that cold that everybody's got. So I've got my good friend Hugh Nicorn with me.
Nice.
Sat in front of the fire. I'm seriously thinking about wrapping myself up like a big issue salesperson. Over my head. Absolutely stone cold. I am really, really cold.
No good.
Really cold. Don't know if I mentioned that I'm cold. I'm cold.
You sure you don't have the flu, Simon? No?
No. Last week, you don't want to know what I had last week.
Well,
and then,
I already got a little whiff of that. No
problem. Yeah, you would have done. One day better, and then just awful. Awful. Yeah, just saying.
I hope you kick it soon, because that's no good.
I hope I kick it soon. Really? Jesus.
That doesn't quite mean the same thing here, I don't think.
Oh. Kick it soon mean get rid of it.
That's not what it means over here.
No, he's wishing you well, Simon. He's wishing you well. No, if you kick it, then
yeah, no, I'm wishing you well. Yeah. Kick it, get rid of it. Kick it.
I'll show you. I'll die live on air. See how much you enjoy that. Yeah,
that'll teach you.
Anyway, beverages. Simon, you're
up. Yes, I've got me a York chocolate from the Rudgate Brewery in York. It's a chocolate stout. It's already poured. It's a beautiful, sexy color. You can't see what a sexy glass it is, but nonetheless, it's nice little notes of vanilla and surprisingly, chocolate.
I will say that's a great choice. I mean, I haven't had that one, but I have been drinking nothing but chocolate stouts for the last week and a half and loving it. I'm not today. I got something else today, but yeah, that's a great job. Chocolate stouts are amazing. I love it. Steven, what do you got?
Well, I am as local as it gets. This is from the Culloch Brewing Company, which is in St. John Street in Perth. I could walk there in about 20 minutes, probably. I have got, because obviously it's a good Scottish beer, I've got an American brown ale. That's what I've got. I've never bought from them before. They were at the farmer's market just prior to Christmas. And just in case we go on a bit, I've also brought in their Tayside IPA. And I treated myself to a nice glass from them, which looks like this. And you can kind of see the logo on there. There you go. Yeah. And as you can I couldn't resist it. I have started a little bit. It's top stuff. Really, really good. Love it.
Nice. Well, I have who makes this? Who makes this? Oh, my God. Oh, wait, hold on. This is the Burlington Beer Company? Is it? Oh, my God. I should have done my homework ahead of time. What kind of a can does not have the brewery on it?
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, I think. Oh, Burlington Beer Company. I thought so. Okay. I see the BBC on there. So, yeah, this is a strawberry whale cake cream ale.
It's a cool can.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a strawberry cake cream ale. And as you can see, it looks just like a cream ale.
Yeah, I'm learning to like the can. I was not into the can as a thing. I was always a bottle kind of guy, but the can appears to be the way forward. I am learning that beers taste really quite good in them.
And there's a slight reddish tint to the beer. And there's some sediment floating around on the bottom. Ooh, that's either good or bad. Smells okay. Quite good. Yeah, it tastes like a cream ale. Good drinking cream ale with a little hint of strawberry. Good.
So you get some strawberry coming through.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
It's not too sweet though. A little tart. Yeah.
Sounds good. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers, big ears.
All right. So Steven came up with a category, so I'm going to let him run the show here. We've got a bunch of categories, and we've picked our top threes on all of them. Some are going to be fun. So
yeah, we decided not just to do a straight run through of our top 5, 10, 20, whatever it is, because you can head over to the website and you can see our lists and extended lists and various things like that already. No, okay. Sorry, Simon. Maybe not extended. Little list. Mine, fun enough, because I'm so succinct, mine is ginormous. So that is already out there, has been there for a while. So we went for a little group of categories, and we've gone for the top 3, and I'm sure we can maybe do the odd honourable mention along the way. And I think that we will start with maybe the only negative one that's there, because I think this has been a really good year for music, but it would be only right to have a grumble of some sort. So we went for the 3 pet hates of 2022. Okay, music related-ish, kind of. I have no idea what the other 2 chaps have picked. So what have you got, Simon?
I've got concert ticket prices, especially for big bands, especially in arenas. Why don't you just get lost? No. I appreciate the world's going to hell in a handcart, but if you were selling 10, 20,000 tickets at £100 a pop, you're making some shit in there, aren't you? Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know that the price of gas is through the roof, but Jesus Christ, really? I'd have to mortgage my house to see Roger Waters, and I don't want to see Roger Waters, so I'm all right. But they're just absolutely astronomical. Some of them, aren't they?
Yeah.
I for a long time I've played a game with my best friend, which is how much would you pay to see? And it used to be like, how much you pay to see Shed 7 at Manchester Academy? And he would go £12.50, and I'd go, oh, you're so close, it's £13.50. But now it's like 40 odd quid to see bands that have released like 8 minutes worth of music on TikTok, and you think, Jesus. Oh, I know there's no real way to make money in music these days, but wow, I am relentless. Don't let my house that's fallen to bits put you off. I'm relentlessly middle class. I'm relatively well off. You know what I mean? And I look at these prices and I go, no, I don't think so.
Mm.
I really don't think so. Just not happening.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah. That's on my list as well, Simon. So well covered.
Thank you. Also, while I'm at it, I'm going to price of vinyl, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, and really, really scarce. Thanks, Adele. Thanks, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Just again off the. I used to buy a CD or a vinyl or a piece of vinyl once a week. Now, as you know, Stephen, I spent all my life in charity shops looking for old shit.
Mm-hmm. And some good old shit too, I may add.
Okay, thank you. Some of which more of later. So yeah. Yeah, I mean that's 2, isn't it? I'm sure I had a third one, but do you know what? I'm just so poorly because, like Pete, I didn't write anything down for this really. So, yeah, I think when we come to reissue, it will connect with things that I find annoying.
Okay. So what have you got then, Pete?
All right, top 3 pet peeves 2022. Number 1 on my list. Sloppy drunks at concerts.
Oh, yes.
I must be becoming an old fart, but man, when I see people my age stumbling around, walking into walls, spilling their beers all over me, getting up every 2 seconds to piss and drink and piss and drink and piss and drink, I'm like, give me a break. Granted, I may have done that a little bit in my younger days, but I don't really tolerate that well anymore. It's like, you're not at home, people. It's like, you should be coming here to watch a band. It's okay to have a couple beers, right?
I just imagine them doing that at home.
Maybe they do. I don't know, but keep it at home. Not in my face, man. It's just like, it's just great because I've noticed, and a lot, the smaller shows and the big arena shows, It's like some of these people go there and their sole intention is to get completely loaded. They're not paying attention to the band. They're so busy walking back and forth to the beer line, to the bathroom, and just like, come on, give me a break. It's just, I just don't have any patience for it anymore. So that's number one. Number two, covers albums. When will it stop? Please. I don't want to see, I love them to death. They're one of my favorite bands of all time, but Deep Purple jumped into that bandwagon this year. And I'm like, no, you're better than that. Why? Ace Frehley, give me a break. I mean, he not only one, he released 2 in a row. They're terrible. Come on, people, write your own fucking music already.
There'll be a third one.
Why? It's like, is the well that dry that you can't, nobody wants to hear these things. The record companies might be paying the money, but nobody's buying them. So what's the point? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And kind of somewhat related, the statement that I hear all year long, and I've heard a lot this year, there's no good new music being recorded anymore. Bullshit.
Yes.
There's nothing that makes me madder than people who say that. And then you ask, well, how many new records did you listen to this year? Oh, none, because there's nothing good out there. That makes my blood boil. It's like, well, if you ain't looking for it, you ain't going to find it. And if you ain't looking for it, you can't fucking make that statement.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good new music out there. But see, people seem to think, well, but listen what's played on the radio and listen what's played on the satellite. It's like, that's not what I'm talking about. That's what's being force fed you based on popular, whatever. It's like there's hundreds of thousands of great albums that come out every year that are well worth your time if you just stop to listen to them and just never mind what Beyonce is doing and all these whatever. It's like that, because that's what people judge by new music by. It's what's what I heard on the popular radio station. It's what satellites play. It's like, well, that doesn't constitute anything, So yeah, those are my 3, all 3 of them.
And it's never been easier. That's the thing. It used to be, as maybe a theme for one of these later on for me too, that if you fell out with a band, you kind of you didn't buy their next album, or you forgot about them, or you bought it and didn't listen to it enough. The only way to get back into the band was to spend your money, or convince one of your friends to spend the money and record it onto a cassette, which was something I tried to do quite a lot. Now, you have so many options where you can, if you choose, find new music, and it's just do that and it appears.
Yeah, people would rather have a Spotify account and just listen to the same songs and bands over and over and over again. It's like, well, you got great things. There's ways to go on Spotify and discover new stuff. There's ways to go on YouTube and discover stuff. Shit, you can go to Bandcamp and there's a wealth of stuff right there for you. I mean, it's just, there's so many ways where even if you don't want to buy everything, at least you can go investigate, right? So yeah, no excuse for it. But yet I hear it every day. I hear it every day. I see it in the comments every day. It's like, nothing new came out this year. Nothing good. It's like, how do you know? How many did you listen to? Well, none, but there's been no good music since 1990. Really now? Okay. Anyway.
Dear. So my 3, Simon has already eloquently covered the ticket prices thing. I have already said this year at some point that I would probably, after doing Alter Bridge and loving it, I may add, not do many arena kind of size shows purely down to price. I must admit that I bought tickets to see a certain band that this guy used to play in, because I'm a fool and I'm a madman, and also because a couple of my kids want to go and they've never seen them. Kiss, we're talking about it for anyone that doesn't know. So yes, I have done that. But Roger Waters was a great example that Simon gave, because we sat and worked out. I know that if I go, my other half wants to go. I know if she wants to go, her dad will want to come. And I know if he wants to come, then our mum is going to want to come. And we sat and worked it out that if we bought 4 tickets to see Roger Waters, we paid the fuel to go through. Parents are probably going to want something to eat. I'm a fool, so I might buy a T-shirt. We reckoned we wouldn't get much change out of £900 for a night out. And just kind of look at it. Oh, hold on a minute. And don't get me wrong, we're talking proper production values. The stage set is phenomenal. The lights and the screens and the cross shooting. You think, I want to see that. But not for that, I don't. No, I don't. But people do. So if they are selling tickets and selling out arenas, it's not going to stop. So that's the only way to stop it. and I'm not going to convince anyone that is willing to spend that money to do so. So I won't be doing many big shows from now on in. My second one it's along the same kind of lines, I suppose. I'm a completist. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. I like to have all the I don't know if I've mentioned that I like to have all the releases by a band I really like. And back in the day, I used to like having all of the individual versions of the releases that bands put out. Now, that wasn't really all that difficult because most bands didn't put out many versions. So, it wasn't difficult. There was an odd occasion where you got a limited version and a normal one. I'd maybe buy both. I'm the fool that was helping it up the charts because I bought 2 versions of an album I didn't need. Now, when a band releases an album, especially through 1 or 2 kind of European record labels, if there's a CD version, there's a different CD version, there's an earbook version, there's a limited version that's got a Blu-ray, that's got the album as an instrumental thing that it was never intended to be. So you're actually getting a bonus version that's worse than the real one. And then there are the 24 different coloured vinyls that you can possibly buy. And the one's exclusive to this
Colored
shop.
stripe, polka dot, all, yeah.
Oh,
collect them all, sure.
And it's just crazy. And the reason it really upsets me is because I know that there will be younger people that were like me at that point who will do it. There will be somebody who has got 24 different versions of one album stacked up neatly on their shelves, all probably still in. And this is my number one, the shrink wrap. This is just from CDs that I have opened today. Okay. Why does everything have to come in plastic now? What is this about? Why do I have to bring it home?
It's not like they're sitting in shops anymore, right? They're not sitting in a store for the most part.
What's that all about? They're putting it in a cardboard thing that then is sealed so tight that it's never going to move once. And it's still coming in some of this stuff. Absolutely drives me insane. And I really genuinely have, there are some vinyl ones now, but it's so tight. I have to go and get a knife from the kitchen and start it like this. Then you try and get your nail in, but it doesn't really go anywhere. And you think, please don't break the bag, like the bag that the record's in, as you're, stop it. No need for it. It's all cheerful now. Yes, Simon.
Why did he put the fucking hype sticker on the plastic shit?
Oh, if I hadn't just thrown them away, I could actually have stuck some of those plastic to my hand.
Why did he do that?
Because I had to peel off hype stickers today.
And they don't always come off properly.
No, they don't.
See? Look. See? This is proper old people shit.
Absolutely. Yes. This kind of unimportant stuff, really, that doesn't matter to anybody in the world, is ruined by a year. Before anyone complains in the comments, these guys are getting upset with things that don't matter. We do know. I'm still upset.
Oh, man.
Okay, so that's the downside out of the way. It's all uphill from here. It's all things we've liked. It's all things that we've enjoyed. And Simon is going to tell us at least the 3 best live shows he attended this year.
There you go. Now we're at the good part of the program.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. And do you know what, my friends? You never let me do another You Saw Who. So I'm going to out myself today. I don't give a flying shit. I really, really don't. This year, I've thoroughly enjoyed Cats in Space. They were great at Bury Met. And do you know the best thing about that was? So many people that wanted to say how much they enjoy Sea of Tranquility in the UK connection. That made me so happy. Yes, indeed. Obviously, I saw Halloween and Hammerfall. Just thought I'd point that out, Stephen. They were great. They were both great. It was amongst the greatest nights of my entire existence as a human being. That's how good it was. Just thought I'd point that out. That's how I'm pointing it out. With you're down there with, as far as I can see, pointing it out. They were great. Two of the best bands of all time, as far as I'm concerned. They were great. I saw Alice Cooper in May. He was brilliant. He was really, really good. Really, really, really good. He's 16,000 years old, still. He is, isn't it? I think that's a theme. I've seen some old people. I've also seen some people who don't exist this year. I saw the Abba Voyage concert in London. That's just so good. oh my God. Just so it kind of helps if you like ABBA, and I love ABBA. Oh, it was so good. Just what a multimedia experience it really was. I can't say anything else because apparently they will kill me. Yeah,
Okay.
that is what it said over the PA just before they came on.
You will agree to a vow of silence.
Very much so. But I just what they did with it, the
Sung
song
like
Eagle.
ABBA, though. You will agree.
You're not really a fan, are you, Pete?
No, I like ABBA. I like ABBA.
Well,
No.
what they did with the song Eagle was just mind-blowingly brilliant, really was. But you know what? This is the bit where I absolutely out myself. I saw the best arena concerts I have ever seen in my career as a human being this year. I went to Leeds. Never been to Leeds. Is it Leeds Arena? Well, yeah, that's where I went, and I saw the best arena concert of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Barry Manilow.
Nice.
Christ, he was good. Oh my God, he was brilliant.
I love Barry Manilow. Yeah, I have a soft spot for Barry. That's very cool.
Yeah, you got little day-glow things to no, can't smile without you. No. Get the hair going. Yeah. Sorry, old person. I'm enjoying myself. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Go Cabana. Yep. Oh, it was absolutely mind-blowingly good. It's almost like he's been doing that shit for the last 50 years and knows exactly what he was doing. Yeah, it's just so good. So good. And I don't give a shit. Who knows? So it was great.
I would like to see Barry Manilow before he leaves us. I think that would be kind of fun.
I imagine he could come back kind of like as an avatar because he's halfway there already, isn't
he? Yeah. Yep.
Just saying.
Okay. So just the three, Simon. Any honourable mentions?
I feel like I honourably mentioned others, didn't I? Blondie were great as well.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you went to see them. Cool.
Yeah.
Pete.
Didn't
it was hard for me to choose three because I saw quite a few really good ones this year. Almost everything that I saw this year was top-notch good, but I guess I think I have my three. So number one, without a doubt, was Merciful Fate, Creator, and Midnight in Brooklyn, New York, at the Apollo Theater. Merciful Fate was a bucket list band for me. I've never seen them before until this night, and they were spectacular. Really, really spectacular. They sounded good. They played great. The audience was completely into it. That was really, really, really special. So there's that. Every time I see this guy, he impresses the hell out of me, and it's always a highlight of the year. But I saw Steve Hackett doing the Seconds Out show just a couple of weeks ago in Tarrytown, New York. That was great. I love seeing guys like Steve Hackett in like a small, 1,000, 1,200 seater place. Just really special. You feel like it's like an intimate type of thing. I loved it. Him and the band are so good. And then probably my number three, I guess, God, because I saw some good ones this year. Symphony X and Haken at the Wellmont Theater in Montclair, New Jersey. It was the first time I'd seen Symphony X in a number of years because they haven't toured here in a while. They were spectacular, and it was in their home area, right? Because they're from New Jersey. So it was a special show for them. All their family was there. It was kind of cool. But Haken were tremendous, and I had never seen them live before, and they were really, really quite good. So those are my top three. As far as like honorable mentions, I saw John Anderson with oh my God, the Kids, not School of Rock, but it's something, I forget what they call it, but they played all of Close to the Edge and some other Yes favorites in Sugarloaf, New York. That was tremendous. Dream Theater at the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank, New Jersey. Amazing. Martin Barr from Jethro Tull at Bethel Woods early in the year. Wishbone Ash at the Egg in Albany, New York. Tremendous. And last, Neil Morse Band at Empire Live in Albany, New York was also great. Good to see Neil and Mike Portnoy and the guys. That was right. God, that was literally right after COVID kind of lifted and bands started going back. So it was right at the beginning of the year. So so a good year for shows. Really good year for shows.
I would agree with that. I didn't see a huge amount by normal standards, but enough that there are things that are not even on my honorable mentions that I would still say were phenomenal. So the three I've gone for my top three were, the first one was Lillian Axe, who I had never seen before. One of those bands that I thought, well, I probably would never see them because they're not going to come and play Scotland at this stage in their career. But they did. They played Edinburgh Bannermans in August, and they were outstandingly good. They played for 2 hours solid. They did a varied set, lots of new things. Lots of classic things. I couldn't have asked for a better set list. My number 2 is Therapy, who, question mark, who I have only seen previously on a festival stage, and they were really good many, many, many years ago. But this time round, it was an anniversary show that was not really, because it was 2 years later than it was meant to be and all that kind of stuff. But they played a ginormously long set. They did a whole load of old, a whole load of new. They were every bit as good as I hoped they would be. My number 1 was a triple bill of Grand Theft Audio, which has one of the drummers that has worked with the Wild Hearts, Rich Battersby, Scott Sorry, who has played bass in the Wild Hearts at certain points, and it was headlined by none other than CJ Wildheart. And it was great because I like seeing these guys in small venues. You get an amazingly energetic show. Because it was 3 bands, they come out and they did 45 minutes to an hour. There was no fluff, no solos, no nonsense, no rubbish. It was just song, song, song. But Scott Sorry a few years back had a real serious health scare, and there were questions as to how long we would have Scott for. Thankfully, he has overcome them. He has put out some fantastic new music in recent times, and this was his first show back in front of a live audience. And man, oh man, it was emotional. And it really was emotional, both on stage and off stage. And it was one of those nights where you walked away thinking, well, nobody else will get that show. Do you know, it was really something special. So yeah, head and shoulders above everything else I was at, not just for the music, but for other reasons too. Honourable mentions, Marillion. Again, I don't mention them many times in the live shows that we've spoken about, to be fair. They came out and played all of the new album from start to finish. That's how they opened the set. Really, really, brave thing to do, as I said.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Yeah, no pun intended, but it went down phenomenally well. They had to move the show from one night to the next because the show actually coincided with a certain lady's funeral over here. So I think they went head to head with the venue about who would cancel it. I would imagine that there were legal reasons for that. Eventually, it got cancelled quite late on and was moved quite late on to the very next day. So it was touch and go whether we were even going to see them, but they were great. Arena in Kinross, because you think Kinross, it's 20 minutes from here, that's madness, but they were great. Damien Wilson on vocals, amazing. And one that I have mentioned before a few times on the show, not necessarily for positive reasons, but a kind of younger new band called Yonica, who played in the garage. I fell out with security after it because we got thrown out before we could buy merch and all this kind of stuff. But the show itself was phenomenal. So that is my top 3 and more of the year. Okay, next up we have got, so it's how to word this and make it make sense. It's the top 3 albums that we bought this year that were not released in 2022. Okay, so this could be something from the 70s, it could be something from our current band that was just released in, say, December last year. We caught on to this year. Anything that blew us away in 2022 that was not released in 2022. Simon.
I think we all know where I'm going with this, don't we?
The charity shop.
It's not that one. Very much not that one. No. Let's get real, shall we? Yeah. Yes, I did. Yes, charity shop. That's where we went. Okay. I am now, as Stephen knows and other people, the proud owner of 2, count them, 2 Beatles albums.
Wow.
I know. And one that I would go as far as saying that it's really quite good is Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Black. Let's start again from the top, shall we? Hi, I'm Pete Pardo. No, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It's pretty good, isn't it? It's quite tuneful.
Yeah, they might catch on.
I feel like they could, couldn't they? I feel like they got some good stuff on there, some good tunes. I think they'll go far. Yeah.
I can see the comments right now. He's kidding, right? It's like, no, he's not.
I do think they'll do well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got the red collection, didn't I, as well? which I still haven't listened to. Just too little time. But I know that, geez, if you don't know everything on that already, you've lived in a hole, haven't you? So,
right.
Really, really enjoyed this. Might even listen to it again sometime. Yep. Also, these others were probably your fault, Steven Reid. As you know, I bought my very first ever Jethro Tull album.
Wow, very first.
I believe
it's a good one to start with, though, I will say.
I wholeheartedly agree. Well done, me.
Yes.
Well done, me. The best thing about it by a very long way is the guitars.
There's hope for him yet, Stephen.
Yeah, there is. We'll get him on in the Pro Key at some point.
Wait till you see the next choice. Yes, it's really good fuzzy guitar and shit, isn't it? Really isn't. And apparently they come from the same country as me.
Yes.
That accent doesn't sound like me in the slightest. No. I'll be honest.
He's actually from Stephen's neck of the woods. That's why.
And it doesn't really sound like anything near me either.
No, it does not.
The guitars are great. I really like. It's kind of loose and kind of fuzzy and scuzzy and
Martin's amazing. Yeah.
Wow, I was blown away. But I've listened to this every day over the festive period, even though I've been dying. Have I mentioned that I've been dying? Really good. I will invest in more. Was it War Child the other one I've got? Is that? I haven't listened to that one as much. Yeah.
That's probably correct as well, to be fair.
So I've been back to 60s, the 70s, and then I went back to last year. Yeah, give it up for me. This is the one that's completely blown my mind. I'll show it you, then we'll discuss, shall we? Oh, we're ready, kids.
Wow.
I know. Isn't it good? Yeah, it's really good. Some of the songs are quite poppy, aren't they? Quite beatly. And I was right pleased with myself. I thought, that's Elton John, isn't it, that voice? I really need to dash back home and have a look at the actual CD. And it's Elton John. And I did the little happy clappy thing. Because I was pleased with myself. Oh, only thing I don't like the drum sound. Not keen.
Yeah.
Not keen. It doesn't sound human. Given that he's supposedly the greatest producer of all time. Some great song. It's not as good as Hand Cannot Erase. Is that the one? Yeah, that's a brilliant album. That's an absolutely outstanding album. I've had that for quite a while. Just keep it on the down low. But yeah, cue it up for me. Just sliding into the prog seat.
Wow. I mean, to be fair, other than me, the people in the prog seat hate that album. But let's not dwell on that too much.
They're so wrong, aren't they?
Well,
yeah, they're so wrong.
And actually, the more I think about it, the more I think that it totally makes sense that Simon would love that album, because he likes a lot of that kind of quirky pop stuff, right? And that's
anyone who's watched some of the AOR kind of themed shows and realised what Simon is bringing to that and will continue to will understand why the Future Bites resonates. I absolutely can see the connection there. Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. You've put a huge smile on my face because I don't think anybody else other than me has ever said anything positive about that album on this channel.
Wow.
Certainly not me.
Very,
I love it. There we go.
Very much been accompanying dog walks over the past week. Every dog walk, pick a dog walk out. And I've had 3 dog walks today, despite being nearly dead. And also, curiously, not owning a dog. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I for one am very happy that you are getting into Jethro Tull. I think that's a great place to start, man. Because Benefit is a great album.
Only about £3 as well.
Yes, score.
Yeah.
Well, Simon, you are an international treasure. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Nobody does.
It's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
nobody tells me anything.
Okay, well, they should. They should.
Like categories or anything.
All right, I guess me, right? Top 3.
Did you tell the categories, Simon? You don't listen.
No, I don't read them. I just don't read them.
Anyway, yes, Pete. It is your turn.
I mean, I could have had a million here. I try not to overthink this because I'm like, God, I've been buying stuff like all year that were from prior years that are, new bands to me and stuff. So I just, off the top of my head, I thought of three pretty good ones. And again, I apologize. I don't have any props today. I'm just a million things going on here. Number one was released in 2021, and it's by a band. I think they're from Vermont or Massachusetts, one of the two. I don't remember. The New England area here. The band is called Heavy Temple. The album is Lupe Amoris. They're a great female-fronted, like psychedelic doom band. Terrific. The singer is amazing. The music is heavy and Sabbathy, but it's got kind of like a cult horror movie lyrics. Great big heavy riffs. Killer album. Heavy Temple, Lupe Amoris from 2021. Another one from 2020, going back a couple of years, a band called Pinnacle Point. The album is Symphony of Mind. And if you like vintage Kansas, you will love this band. Really cool proggy album with keyboards and violin, and or not, is there actually violin on the album? Or synth sounds that sound like violin? I forget, but the vocalist sounds just like Steve Walsh. I mean, it sounds like Kansas, so it's really good stuff. I forget exactly. And then third, and this is a real recent discovery of mine, and I have to thank, I think, two viewers who pointed this band out to me, who I never heard of ever. And I actually got a couple from this band. The band is called Firebird, led by Bill Steer from Carcass. It's his side band that I guess they're defunct now. It's his, kind of like Michael Amott does the Spiritual Beggars, right? Michael Amott from Arch Enemy does Spiritual Beggars, which is kind of like his 70s blues rock stoner type doom band. Well, Firebird is Bill Steer's similar type band. I think they have like 6 albums or so. I just got the first self-titled Firebird album from 2000. Really good bluesy heavy rock, again done by a death metal guy who's doing like 70s style, British heavy rock or blues rock or whatever. Really good stuff. Great guitar solos and riffs and things. Lots of good grooves. Really tremendous band. Those are 3. There's plenty more, but I really like this category a lot because I think it's, it just goes to show if you're still buying like older stuff that you never discovered before, in addition to all the new things. And I do that like all year long. So good category, Steven.
Yeah, I liked this category when I was thinking about what else we could do, because I'm prone to say, oh, this just came out and I've just missed it. Not everything is from as recent as that, though. So my first one I'm going to do is
Nice.
Mr. Elton John. There we go. It's Tumbleweed Connection. I think I've mentioned this on the channel before because TJ, or from Twitter, or Terry from the comments, was kind enough to send this one to me unsolicited. There's a reason why he managed to get my address, and that was all above board. And I'm delighted that he did, because this just appeared at my house. And I like Elton John. I've always liked Elton John. I probably gravitated towards the 80s stuff because that's when I was growing up. And I knew the hits from before that, and I can take or leave some of those. They're good. I enjoy them. I don't dislike them. Wow, man, oh man, this is serious stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't this serious stuff? It's a really proper, serious, intelligent rock and more album. Really like this. Really good. Kind of.
Did that prompt you to get any of the other 70s albums yet, or
not yet? But it will happen. It will happen. Yeah, absolutely.
Those 70s albums, Simon will agree, are just spectacular. Really good.
I'm going to just kind of work round about that, I think, first, because I like that so much. I'm going to just work round there and then see how much further out we get. We may mention Mr. Elton on a future show because of one of Simon's promptings.
Okay, cool.
More of that at a later point, I think.
Sounds
so the
good.
second one I've got is Bloodgood. Okay, this album is Detonation. The cover is just bonkers. It's really good. Look at this. There's sphinxes playing guitars. There's explosions.
Big sphinx playing guitar with a volcano going
and
off.
The band are just the coolest guys in the whole world. Never.
Wow. What year is that from?
Okay, so this is from. He says shouldn't have looked it up before because
I've heard of them, but I don't know anything about them.
1987. This is basically Judas Priest with a different name. Wow, this is great stuff. I mean, there are no surprises, therefore. It is just absolutely bang on the money, though. I think I've got another one as well. Don't have that yet. This is great. Really good. And the one that really worked for me, I've got a couple of honourables, but the one that really worked for me is this. This is Kingdom Come. This is Hands of Time.
Good album.
Okay. I came across the CD for a matter of pennies. Okay. I had heard the debut because I used to have it on cassette many, many moons ago because, well, I convinced a friend to buy it because I wasn't going to spend the money on it. Funny that. And I bought the second album, which is called, it's got the speaker on the front. Stick it to you, something like that. That right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't listen to it very much, so I kind of thought, you know, I went back and listened to it after buying Hands of Time because, man, oh man, this is just serious rock music. It's not, yeah, there's a bit of plant in these vocals and all this kind of stuff. I know they've got the Led Zeppelin clones tag. It made me go out and actually buy the debut, which I really, really like. And then I stumbled on Bad Image, terrible album title, nice logo. This is really good too. I'm really impressed. This was a band that I completely dismissed, on even having heard the first two albums. I bought into the hype of, yeah, they're just Zeppelin clones. More fool me. They're really good. I shall be buying more of those as well. Couple of quick honourables. This is The Cross. So this is Roger Taylor's solo project. This is Blue Rock. This was the third one that came out from the band that nobody's ever really heard of. This did absolutely nothing. Man, oh man, it shits on the first two, and I like the first two. This is great. This is a serious rock album. Really good. Bit of humour about it. Bit of politics in the lyrics because it's Roger Taylor and all that kind of stuff. Really good. And the last one is Todd Michael Hall. Okay, so this is the guy that sings in Riot V these days. Over in the US, they may know him from a little program called The Voice, where he did really quite well. He did Jukebox Hero and various things like that. This is his solo album, which was done with, not enough going on here, Kurt from Metal Church.
Oh, Kurt Vanderhoof, yeah.
Is the guitarist and everything on this. This is great stuff. This went completely under the radar from last year. One of these ones that should have been quite high on my end of year list, slipped under the radar. Sonic Healing, it's called. This is fantastic stuff. I'll tell you what, this guy can sing. He can sing. What a voice. And this is the kind of album that really highlights that. Fantastic stuff. So there you go. That is my 5 albums. Kind of cheating here. I appear to be the cheat this week. Sorry, Simon. But we are now moving on to our 3 favourite album cover artworks from albums released in 2022. Now, this was the category that I believe that a certain chap wearing a lovely football hoodie there would appear to have forgotten about until a couple of days ago, or not read on the email at all, wasn't aware of, shall we say. So, Simon, what have you got?
I've got what many people would describe as a top 2.
Okay.
Number 1 by a very, very long way. In more ways than one, is Cats in Space. I'm sure we'll be discussing that.
Yes.
Our friend Andy Kitts. And the vinyl, I don't know if anybody watched the, let's see how many days ago it was, 2 or 3 days ago when Pete did his top 3. And this was number 3. Yeah. And Pete correctly pointed out that the vinyl version is absolutely that's just orgasmic, isn't it? Well done, Andy Kitts, and you're a very, very clever man indeed. I'll be honest, I do quite like, I do quite like the cover for Massive Wagons. I think it's got an interesting face, interesting / terrifying. Yeah. And I also, but more of Massive Wagons, I also do like the cover for Arch Enemies.
Yeah, that's well done.
Quite like that, yeah. Quite nice, quite see, look, see, just like me. Yeah. And I have to, I mean, seriously, while we're talking about packaging, what the fuck, why? This has a special name, doesn't it?
Is this an Obi strip that you've got, is it?
Is that what it is? Yeah, it's just
Obi, yeah. It's a loose translation from Japanese is that it's a sash of some sort.
Yeah, Obi strip, that's the one it says so. Yep, that's the first time I've touched it since I put it away in the plastic.
I'll take you 3 weeks to get that back on the album now.
There you go, back on them. So yeah, very nice, very nice package. I'd like it to have been gatefold. I think everything should be gatefold. I think it should be the law.
Absolutely.
But yes, I quite like that. So I feel like I got to 3 there, didn't I? Think
You did.
pleased
You
with
managed to get to 3. I really like that Arch Enemy one as well because I like an album cover that kind of gives you an idea of what's going to be inside.
Yeah, it's going to be metal as fuck, isn't it?
What's going to be inside, doesn't it? It's really cool. Yeah. So, Pete.
Speaking of album cover that gives you an idea of what's going to be on the inside, this totally does not, but it still rules anyway. And I grabbed the wrong one. Hold on. Jeez, man, I'm just firing blanks today. Let's see. Here we go. I got it. All right. Earthless, Night Parade of 100 Demons. Look at that.
Yeah, that's good.
Look at that. And not only do you get that, but look at the inside. Woohoo! Release the Kraken. Look at that.
That's very cool.
Pretty spectacular. So that's one of them. Cats in Space obviously is on my list as well. Also, I've got the new Striper, the Final Battle. Let me take it out of the so you don't get, look at that gorgeousness. Pretty damn cool. The other one, which I really wish I could show because it's spectacular, might be my favorite, but it's somewhere in my car, is the latest from My Sleeping Karma, Atma. It's got that kind of like elephant creature on the front. It's absolutely spectacular. It's really good. I really like the Ben Craven monster from the Id is also really cool, and Blind Guardian, the God Machine, and Naxxatras 4. The new Naxxatras is also a spectacular album cover. So yeah, those are some of mine from the year.
So with the Striper one, Pete, do you know, is that the same artist that's done like their older ones as well? Because the colors and everything just
I believe it's the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all exactly the same.
Absolutely feels right. Yeah. I love it when a band does this kind of thing. That really works for me.
Well, that's why, I got to mention it because I love when an artist kind of sticks themselves with a band like Roger Dean and Yes, Rodney Matthews with Magnum. That's why, to me, the cover of the new Magnum is like, it's okay, but it's like, I want a Rodney cover, right? It's like you're used to that because he's like synonymous with the band, but whatever. I don't make
okay. So for mine, I mean, I've pulled out 4. The reason being that I knew this would come up already. This has been covered. That's obviously in my top 3, obviously. However, I knew that Cats in Space would be there, so I've gone instead with the 3 of the new Arena album. Okay, The Theory of Molecular Inheritance. I'm getting good at that now, Pete. I've said that quite a lot now. Okay, and it carries on around the other side and all this. It's really, really good. Really like that. I have gone for one that I really do wish that I'd bought on vinyl for the cover, because this is Star One, Revel in Time, and it doesn't really quite come across on the CD cover, but it's really cool. Yeah, very atmospheric. This is another one that kind of portrays what's going to be inside. Yeah, the music's maybe a little brighter than the cover, but it is that kind of space mythical. It's got that feel about it. You know what sort of journey you're in for. And the last one is, and I showed this on the channel just the other day because it came up as part of a conversation. This is the Tron Sonic Experience, and it's the Shadows Vol 1 and Vol 2. Because I mean, that's really cool. Okay, and that's really cool. But that's stupid cool. Okay.
That's why they released 2 of them and not 1.
Yeah. And it's a face, and there's the butterfly in the middle and all this kind of stuff. The more you look, the more you see. It helps that the music's great too. Yeah, so that's my number ones, really, is this. I've really liked this from the start, and I spent hours going, whoop. What can I say? I'm easy pleased. Okay, so we are getting to the nitty-gritty now. We're getting to the real stuff at this point, okay? So, before the main event, we are going to talk about our top 3 and maybe a few more reissues or live albums or compilations. Somebody asked on Twitter through the week, could they include box sets and things? Well, yes. Okay. So anything along those lines, something that was new this year that technically wasn't new this year in some shape or form. Simon.
This is where the wine from previously comes in. Okay, so I've just got the 3 things because that's what it said. And as you know, I always stick to the rules.
Oh, this is the point you decide to stick to the rules when I haven't.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah, rules, schmoes. I've shown this before, and do you remember previously when I said everything got delayed because of Adele and other stuff? So the Nashville Pussy Eating Alive album, there we go, the one that I'm on, yeah, I think was recorded in 2018. It says on the thing 2020, but it came out on vinyl in January this year, so I'm counting it. Yeah, I am. It's really good. If you don't like the band, you won't like it. But it's I was there. Manchester, England. Oh Christ, that hurts. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, very good. So yeah, winner. Also in live album mode, and these two I got because my real friends, my real work colleagues, gave me some stuff for for my birthday, and for just £12.99 of my earth pence, I got John Lodge, The Royal Affair and After, and it's so lovely. It's like a big warm hug of a record. Yes.
When is that from, Simon? When is that from? Roughly?
Is it from 2019?
Okay. So is this new recordings from 2019? I know that he's been quite active in recent times.
It was from that tour that they did with Yes and Asia and Carl Palmer.
Yeah. We reviewed it on the website in January.
The summer before the pandemic. Yeah, it was.
I'm counting, and then Pete did a thing as well. It's just a big warm hug of a record, and if you know if that's the way that he and the Moody's are going out, it's just lovely. And John Davidson turns up. Just really, all the hits. Quite going about. Lovely recitation from Graham Edge. Really, really nice. Really, and only £12. Bargain. Absolute bargain. Maybe not in bargain mode, but with the same vouchers I got, and I kind of love this, but there's some absolute shit on it. Susie Quattro's Rock Box.
You're ruining my pour here.
Why?
Because I'm laughing that much.
It's seven CDs and a DVD and a super sexy booklet, 132 fun fill tracks. Most of it's really good. She's a much more important artist than people would think. You know, she kicked down so many doors, and so many of the tunes are so great. But by God, the cover album's shite. Fuck me. Oh. No, thank you. But the rest of it's really, didn't realize how many rock and roll covers you really needed. But it turns out absolutely shitloads. But yeah, there's loads of bonus tracks on it. Just really good package. I really like it. I'm very pleased that I spent quite a lot of money on it. As you can see, they're all there. Yeah, good times. Good booklet, talks you through everything. I also, after a number of years, this year managed to finish her autobiography as well. So I've had a real Susie kind of year. So yeah, thoroughly recommend the box set. And there are some other Susie Quattro box sets with slightly fewer albums. So I might hoover those up as well as I go along. So I do remember early in the UK connection, people say you got to get into Susie Quattro. So if that was you, I've done it just for you. Whoever you were, yes. No, I'm not doing any more Sabbath. No,
that's it. Okay.
I've also noticed that Led Zeppelin have landed on the radiator.
And is the heating on, Simon?
The heating is on.
Yeah, and are you currently pushing it against the radiator with your foot?
I'm remarkably relaxed about this situation because I'm not coming out from under my penguin cover because I'm dying. Yeah, I'm going to mute myself again and have a cough.
Oh, okay. So as Simon commits cruelty to vinyl, okay, Pete, your Reissues live albums compilation things of the year.
Yeah, so I got very excited there for me. Everybody saw me kind of running off and grabbing things from the shelf. I got very excited because one thing I did not put on my list, and then I was like, oh, how can I forget this? This was far and away one of the best live things that came out this year. And then I was like, it came out in 2021. Okay, maybe so much for that one. All right. I sat there and looked at the back. But then I was thinking, I'm like, wow, Moving Pictures 40th anniversary was last year already? I thought it was this year. This year went by way too fast.
This came out this year.
Did it come out this year? It says 2021 on the back of mine.
I put my list for this year. I
Yeah,
can't see because I've not got my glasses on.
yeah,
Okay, I've
mine's
got
just,
other ones, but I had this for this year. This have arrived at my house this year.
that's what I thought, but I'm looking at the back and it says 2021. I'm like, all right, well,
Was it not
anyway,
delayed?
regardless, I
Was it
got
not
this
delayed?
year.
I think it was delayed.
Maybe that's why.
So
Anyway,
there you go.
this
It's
far and
for my
away is one of the best, coolest things that came out this year. Not only do you get the remaster of moving pictures, but you get live in YYZ 1981 from, where was this? I say it wrong every time that people correct me. Montreal or Toronto? Was Toronto, right? I don't remember. Yeah, Toronto. I think I always say Montreal, and people are like, no, the Canadians are all like, no, it was not in Montreal, it was in Toronto. I believe it's Toronto.
It came out
Anyway,
this year, by the way.
yeah, that's what I
April
thought.
this
I
year.
was like, I was looking at the back, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway, this
It
the
doesn't say on the
bonus.
hype sticker. It doesn't say.
Yeah,
I'm so annoyed.
us dumb Americans, we don't know. Anyway, yeah, the bonus live stuff on here. If it doesn't, it's pretty close to becoming the greatest Rush live album that's ever been released. It's that good. So literally, that's one. I'm going to give some props to the Thin Lizzy Boys Are Back in Town little box set here, which has the live stuff and the documentary. Top notch if you're a Thin Lizzy fan. This is pretty recent. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers live at the Fillmore in 1997. Multi-disc set. That's very cool. Got to give some props to the Neil Young Harvest box set, which is really, really well done, which is really cool. And then Al Di Meola, John McLaughlin, Paco de Lucia, Saturday Night in San Francisco, live album from the Vaults that came out. Frank Zappa, 75, Zagreb, Libjuana, however the hell he says that, whatever. The various Black Sabbath box set anniversary editions and Jimi Hendrix Experience, Los Angeles Forum from 1969. So, yeah, and maybe Steve Hackett Genesis Live, Second Zap, and more. So that's it. All sorts of good stuff.
Oh, yeah, lots and lots and lots that could be in this category. So, yeah, obviously I had this down as one of my top three because this reissue is phenomenal. Moving pictures sound fantastic, but as Peter's already mentioned, if you like Rush and you like to hear them playing live, gotta have it. You gotta have it. It's outstandingly good. The other two main ones, okay, so there's some heavy lifting going on now.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Okay, so this is Dance Macabre from Celtic Frost. Okay, and it has all of this goodness in here. Yes, it is coloured. There are fancy picture discs. There's a 7-inch. There's cassettes. It's phenomenal. It's just phenomenal, and I'm going to break my arm from holding it. It's so good. This is basically
phenomenal, and it's heavy.
Oh, in more ways than one.
Yes.
There you go. This is so good. I absolutely love it. I mean, yes, I had things that were in here already. Thankfully, there were things in here that I didn't have. Those things that have been difficult to find over the years. There's a cassette. There's a badge. There's a patch. Who needs the music? Me. I need the music. This is outstandingly good. My only complaint is that it tells you on the back what's in it. Okay, but there's a bit of paper that's been glued on in the corners.
You know what? They do that a lot. I hate those.
Why would you? It's not like this is so that someone that's browsing it in the store. There are no stores.
Yeah.
And look at this and go, oh, actually, this looks
so
really
many
good.
of the box sets do that. They do that on some of the Blu-ray box sets too. It's like, and that just falls off. And then what are you supposed to do with it? Then you got a box set that has nothing on the back.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
see, Simon's got one right there too. Look at that. See?
Yeah. Oh no.
Can we just say though, before you move on to the next one, how cool is the Celtic Frost logo?
Oh yeah,
one of the best. Nobody ever talks about it. I think it's one of the coolest.
It is one of the coolest. Yes. Look at this. Absolutely. That and this is before the need to make them absolutely illegible. You know, as it's pointy and it's jagged and it's a bit scary and it goes grrr.
Yeah.
You can read the damn thing. I'm quite cool and I like to be able to read it. But there you go. Yes, this was, and they want me to point it out. Yes, I've listened to it all already. This was a Christmas present from my daughters.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice daughters.
Yeah. Okay. My number one. It's just. And we'll just do that and leave it there. Yes, it's the deluxe version of Creatures of the Night. Yes, I had to mortgage my left leg for it. And yes, I think it's great. I've also got the Destroyer one behind me up here somewhere. I think the Creatures of the Night one is much more exciting. It's my era of the band, admittedly. The live discs are phenomenal. I've really always wanted a good, proper live show from the Vinnie Vincent era, which is exactly what this gives you. I think that the demos on it are really good. There's lots of stuff in there that is actually really worthwhile. If you like this band and you like this era, please put your hate below. I love it. Hate Kiss, thank you. I'm all for it. That's good.
Yeah, because Steven, we got to do the math, right? Because someone, famously pointed out to us that 90% of the people who watch this channel love Kiss. And we were both like, yeah, unfortunately, that's not the case.
Yeah, that does not bear fruit when you actually read the comments anytime that they're mentioned on this show. There you go.
I fully know there'll be at least 10 or 15 I hate Kiss comments down below. So whatever.
What I will say as well when I bought that, because that's when I bought, is that I cancelled my order twice. And I cancelled my order twice because the price difference between certain stores and where I got it equaled 3 figures. Okay, I literally got that for, including shipping, more than £100 less than I had initially put out for, all from UK stores, not from the Kiss website, which I got the Destroyer one from, and it came perfectly, no problem at all. However, if you shop around, you can find these things at a price that doesn't quite make you feel quite as mad as you might be. Not quite. Anyway, quickly, other ones. I'm a sucker for Armored Saint. So classic albums were reissued this year. We have March of the Saint. We've got Delirious Nomad. That's a bonkers cover. I love that album cover.
I do too, yeah.
I got the T-shirt when I got these CDs as well. And Raising Fear. These are great. Armored Saint were and remain so good. Jerusalem. So this is the kind of fabled band that Ian Gillan was part of managing, and he produces this album, released back in the early 70s. It has taken on mythical status because it has had so many unofficial releases that the band don't agree with, and other members of the band released versions that other members of the band went, oh, don't buy that, it's not us, and so on and so on and so on. If you look under some of the reviews for this band on the Sea of Tranquility website, you'll find other members of the band dismissing what's in the review. It's quite interesting, bit of politics about the band if you like it. This is really good. It's fantastically Deep Purple-ish in real terms, and there's bits of it you actually think, there's a band called Deep Purple that used that later. It's really quite blatant in places. But to have a real proper version of this, I really like.
I will give a warning to everybody out there. There are subsequent Jerusalem albums that have come out like over the last 20 or 25 years. They're not good at all. So get the first. The first is genuine 70s heavy rock. Anything after that is probably not worth your time.
Yeah, and they do not sound like this band.
Nothing.
And there are very few of the guys from this band in them. I think most have got one, realistically, and he wasn't really an original member at this point, although he was in the band. A quick shout out to the Marillion box set, Holidays in Eden. I like this album. There's lots of good extras on it. Anyone that wants to understand the dynamics of a band working together with a record label that doesn't want them to sound like they want to sound like, and they work with a producer who wants to sound like something else entirely, the documentary on this is gold, and it has been through the whole series, and I don't think that any other band will be able to offer you, once all 8 from the EMI years are out, a kind of sequence of events that runs from the very early days through to when they become famous, and actually document a band in that way. Really, really good. I have got Hail Mary, Disturbing the Peace. So this is what Leather Wolf did when Leather Wolf were not, realistically. Okay. This comes out through a label called Aeonian Records. I will not lie. There's a certain chap here that maybe wrote the liner notes on this, but it's really, really good. It's a really, really strong album. Aeonian put out lots of things from that kind of, well, let's call it, for the sake of everybody else, hair rock era, okay? But this is what bands were doing roughly when that genre just went down the tubes. And this is heavy, it's in your face. This is really good, really good. And the last one, CJ Wildheart. Okay, this is Lives. This is a double vinyl best of, all re-recorded. There's things from the Wildhearts on here, there's things from the Jellies on here, there's things from Honeycrack, there's solo material. If you've never heard his music before and you want to, this is where to go. So that is me for reissues and the like. Okay, so You've listened to us babble for, crikey, quite a long time now. So this is the main event, okay? This is the top 3 of 2022. Simon is about to tell us what the best 3, and maybe a few more, or maybe not, albums of the year are.
Just top 3. So that's what I asked to do.
Because you always follow that.
I do. It's what I do. I'm known for it. My number 3 is There Is No Time by the Church of the Cosmic Skull. Who doesn't love the Church of the Cosmic Skull? Who doesn't? That's right, Nottingham's finest.
I love the Flying V.
Yeah, yep, super cool. It's loose yet tight, yet loose. It's proggy yet hard rocky. It's gospel-y yet rocky, and it's just really good. They're a really consistent band. I think this is their 4th album. I wholeheartedly recommend it. It's not too long. There's no stage welcome. Given what we said earlier, who wouldn't love a little bit of what's called silver skin? Yeah, you know it makes sense. Yes, indeed. Again, it's just a step towards the prog scene for your Uncle Simon. Nearly made it into the top 2. Like the image, I like everything about it. I like
Simon.
Yeah.
Go and hold that cover up so I can have a proper look, if you would be as kind. Oh yeah, that's good. I know nothing about this band whatsoever. I'm going to go check them out.
They've got videos on YouTube. Have a look. There's so many ways you can find new music, Stephen.
Oh, asked for that, I believe.
I'm surprised by you. Yeah. So, yeah. My number 2, because Peter described the Cats in Space album. I must be going back to what was it? Thursday, all the way back to Thursday. Yeah, many days ago. He described the Cats in Space album as fun. I described Massive Wagons as fun. I did when I gave House of Noise to Lewis on American homework. That's not right, is it? That's not
album
right.
homework assignment.
Thank you, album homework, and this just ups the funsies as well. The Fuck the Haters starts it off. I can get down with that shit. There's a track called Asshole, which is so much better than the similarly named Gene Simmons song. Please Stay Calm is almost yacht rocky, and the video actually is yacht rocky. I love Massive Wagons. They are so good. They are so catchy. There's 300 tracks on this. It feels like it's about 15 minutes long. He's put it on again. There's so much good fun. Such a top quality live band. And my number 1, as everybody has already worked out, is of course Mighty Cats in Space. Gave it 5 stars. Stick by that. There's not a duff note on it. Although I did read the comments on Peter's number 3 album. Not everybody's full of the love for the Cats, are they? They really aren't. They really aren't. Oh well, we all hear things differently. Bam, back of the net. It makes it. I just think it's a great power pop, hard rock, rocking album with hooks to die for, melodies to grab hold of and enjoy so very, very much. It's one of the very few albums I actually play all the time from this year. In fact, these 3 are maybe the Scorpions as well. There's practically all the albums that I play all the time. So, yeah. On the rare occasions, I'm not listening to obscure melodic rock. Black Sabbath.
And why would that be, I wonder?
Or a warped Led Zeppelin album.
There you go. Really warped at this point.
Okay, so I believe that we are out at a point where Pete can actually talk about some of his favorite albums from the year.
I can reveal now because all has been revealed. So this should be no surprise to anybody. One of you guys, can you hold up your Cats in Space? Kickstart the Sun, which is my number 3. Yes, indeed. There we go. Great. Whatever you want to call it. Classic rock album of the year. Yes. Love it. Love it. So memorable, so catchy, so fun. And if you're not down with fun, well, I can't help you there. My number 2, all the way from Sweden, All the way from Memphis. No, all the way from Sweden, Candlemass. Sweet Evil Son. Terrific Swedish Doom album. Man, this is so good. This is like, it's very rare for me that a like December release will finish up so high on my list, because generally speaking, I don't have enough time to listen to it. And I'm like, it's December. Well, it's discounted because I just haven't had enough time with it. Well, I made the time for this. This came out in December and I listened to this nonstop, and it made it all the way up to number 2 because I love Candlemass. It's so freaking heavy. It's excellent. But my number 1 has been number 1 for a good chunk of the year, and that is Digital Noise Alliance from Queensryche. It's easily my favorite from the Todd La Torre era. I don't know if that easily, because I think they've all been really, really strong. And I think this album and even the last 2 just kind of take me back to the great Queensryche stuff of the 80s. And for those of you watching who are like, nothing will compare to those 80s albums. Well, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe Operation Mindcrime and The Warning and, those couple of albums that came out around that time, and even Empire, are like the pinnacle of Queensryche. They put out so much shit since then that the last 4 albums with Todd on vocals just kind of eliminate all that stuff, and it's like they've continued, right from Promised Land and on. So yeah, I think this is a great album from them, and it's my album of the year.
Okay, so my top 3, and yes, I am cheating. I do have honorable mentions. I really am cheating because I'm not going to repeat anything that I showed on In the Proxy. So if you want to know my kind of proggier top albums, you can watch that show, which was very good. You'll learn lots of things about music that I knew nothing about too. Or you can go and read the lists that are on the website. So my number 3, not including the more proggier things, Impera from Ghost. This is probably one of the albums that I've played most this year. I like Ghost a lot. I've not been the biggest fan of all of the stuff that they've done. I kind of dispute that they're a heavy metal band, because
they're not. Yeah, they're not. I would agree.
That's heavy at all. I think that's part of the appeal. They're melodic as hell. This is more likely to appear on the Melodic Rock Show, in my humble opinion. And they're one of those bands, and I do often link it with something like Blue Oyster Cult, because they can sing about the evilest, most ridiculous things in the world, and you go, dee, 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 dee. It just shouldn't work.
Fun and pleasant, right? It's like, yeah.
And I absolutely love it. Played that a huge amount this year. Second one I'm going to mention is The Gang's All Here. This is Skid Row. This is a band that everyone, including myself, completely wrote off. So, they were has-beens. They were just almost never were's, because it's a couple of albums that are phenomenal. After that, who cares? I've seen them in those years. They were good fun. You just wanted the stuff off the first couple of albums, let's be honest. Eric Gronwall, who was in Heat, turns up. Wow, boom. Yes, the gang's all bloody well here. This is great. I really like this. There's no fluff, there's no shite on here. It is just a whole album that just rocks from start to finish. Really good. And yet, it got 5 out of 5. And it stayed 5 out of 5. It's Cats in Space. It's the best album from the 70s that was released this year. And it is just phenomenal. It sounds phenomenal. It's longer than the previous albums that they've put out. So therefore, I should be going, do they need to do that? Yes, they do. Absolutely, they do, because the whole damn thing's good. There's not a wasted moment on it. We have a review show about it. We've interviewed with the band. Love it. Absolutely love it. I've got a few honorables, not many. Lily and Axe, who I've mentioned before, they don't get a lot of love, so I'm going to talk about From Womb to Tomb, which is a concept album. Really, really good. In Brent Graham, they've got an excellent new lead singer. They've kind of burned through a few singers in recent times. He's really good. I hope he stays around. He was excellent live as well. I have really enjoyed, and I must admit that I give Frontiers a hard time quite often on this channel. I will often dismiss most of the things they put out. I really like Black Swan. This is Robin McCauley. It's Red Beach. It's Jeff Pilson. It's Matt Starr. It's just hard rock. It's really good fun, but it doesn't feel formulaic. It doesn't feel like one of those albums that you go, yeah, okay, I know who asked them to do that or who wrote half the songs. It's not like that at all. I really like Carpe Diem from Saxon. Really stands up. Not everything on here is killer, but man, oh man, the stuff that's good is outstandingly good. And thank you, and apologies because I can't remember quite who it was, but somebody in the comments after we talked about Heat on the melodic rock show that we do said, Stephen, have you listened to Force Majeure? And I went, no. And they said, well, please do before you put your end of year list together. Well, yeah. And I went and bought it immediately because it's phenomenal. This is just Ken Lacremo is back on vocals. It's good fun. It's very Europe-like. Yeah, we like Europe. Get over it, okay? And it's hard rocking. It's full of melody. There's loads of hooks. I'm in. Totally. There you go. That's me. I'm done.
Very cool. Oh, we covered a lot of bases here today. Some great stuff. Some things that bug us. Some cool reissues, new releases. Yeah, cool album covers. All sorts of good stuff. So this is the way you do an end of the year show, right?
Well,
cool.
This is good fun because I like covering the bases when we do this. You
reflect on the whole year, right? So it's kind of neat. And just like that, tomorrow is 2023. So we're basically going to take our brooms out and sweep all this stuff under the rug and get ready for the deluge that is coming, because that's the machine that is doing this sort of thing, right? So the new releases will come out hot and heavy, and it's another year goes by, another one starts.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. I look forward to the comments on this.
Yeah.
Whether people like what we like or whether they don't like what we like. I want to be educated as much as I want to be agreed with or disagreed with. What have you liked this year? What should I be looking at this year because it's got great artwork? What should I be listening to that I've missed? What did you buy from 1972 you've never heard before that is the best album that you've heard all year? Go on, let us know.
Something. Take part. Join the fun. That's what it's all about. So thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Stay tuned tomorrow, New Year's Day, 2023. George Lemie, Eric Porter, and myself will be ranking the catalog of keyboard virtuoso Derek Sherinian. He's got 9 solo albums. We're ranking them all tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And then, of course, we got the Hudson Valley Squares on Monday. I think I'm going to give away the topic. So we're going to be telling stories about our experiences with Columbia House and BMG music mail order companies back in the day. So for those of you who are old enough to remember spending, getting 20 CDs or albums or 8 tracks or cassettes for like $1, and then you got to buy X amount over a certain amount of time, we're going to talk about the fun that it was being a member of both of those. Yes.
So is that like Britannia Music over here? That's what. Do you remember that, Simon?
I do. I think that sounds very much like it, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because I partook in that in the buy 20 albums thing, and then get lumbered with something a month that you had to send back or tick your card. Yeah,
exactly. Yep. So we'll be talking about that on Monday. This is a Chris Allo idea, and I think it'd be kind of fun because we all did it at some point. If you're of a certain age, we all did this, right? Because who can resist the allure of 20 albums for a penny, right? All you gotta do is pay shipping. Great. Well, you're ordering shit you have no interest in just because you gotta finish up a contract, right? It's like, damn it, how do I get rid of this stuff now, right? So so that's coming up on Monday. So stay tuned for that and a lot more here on the channel. For Simon Bray and Steven Reid, I am Pete Pardo. Happy New Year, everybody! Thanks for watching us all year long, and we'll see you tomorrow in 2023. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.